Hello class! Welcome to our next Social Studies 20-1 unit, the French Revolution. To begin, let's ask ourselves, what is the French Revolution? To answer this question, let's organize our thoughts into a KWL chart. A KWL chart consists of 3 parts: what I know, what I wonder, and what I learned. I have separated these 3 parts into the red, blue, and green sections. Before we begin learning about the French Revolution, we will complete the red and blue sections. After the unit, we will complete the green section. So first, let's look at the red section, what I know. Fill in this column with things you know about the French Revolution. One way to approach this is to break down the topic into its parts, France and Revolution. Based off of the pictures I showed to introduce this topic, we know that the French Revolution has battles and conflicts, looks at ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity, as well as the fact it occurred in France. Add any other things you know about the French Revolution here. In the next column, which is blue, we will look at what we wonder about the French Revolution. Fill in this column with things you wonder about in regards to the French Revolution. What do you not know about, but want to learn about with the French Revolution? These can be questions, ideas, and other topics. After we complete the course, we will fill in the last green column, where we will list the things we have learned about the French Revolution. Hopefully, it will be a lot of things. How are we going to learn about the French Revolution? Through class discussion, activities, and other events, we will tackle many subtopics of the French Revolution. To help visualize and guide us through the French Revolution, I have created a graphic organizer which you can look at as we go through this unit. In this graphic organizer, I have split the French Revolution into 3 sections: pre-French Revolution, which will look at events leading up to the French Revolution; the French Revolution itself, which will look at events happening during the Revolution; and post-French Revolution, which will look at the consequences and major themes that resulted from the French Revolution. Briefly, we will look at the topics in each section. In the red column, we will look at what led up to the French Revolution, such as the Age of the Enlightenment, where new ideas arose that valued logic and reasoning. Perhaps today we do not see this as very exciting, but during the 16 and 1700s, this was a very controversial time because logic and reasoning challenged the way social life was organized, particularly around religion, the role of the church, and the legitimacy of the king. Legitimacy means justified and accepted. A similar comparison to our world today would be how we are learning more about the LGBTQ community and how sexuality, identity, and gender are not necessarily binary. These ideas are challenging the traditional beliefs around gender and sexuality and are both scary but exciting. In addition, we will look at how inequality and debt led the Third Estate, aka the peasants, merchants, and others of France, to starvation and desperation, which ultimately initiated the French Revolution. In the blue column, we will explore how the Third Estate overthrew the monarchy, killed the king and queen using a guillotine, which is a structure that slices off people's heads, and produced documents such as the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, which mirrors Canada's Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Lastly, we will look at the consequences and major themes of the French Revolution, such as nationalism, equality, meritocracy, and secularism. We will look more in depth with these terms as we move through the unit. I have made a mind map to help us organize and understand these terms, which I will show you later on. So, why are we, as Canadians, even learning about the French Revolution? Well, if we think about the consequences and major themes of the French Revolution, we can see that many of them exist in Canada today. For example, nationalism, meritocracy, and a constitutional monarchy are all ideas which exist and are practiced every day in Canada. Now we will look at a mind map of these terms. Here is the mind map I have mentioned. At the center, I have stated the main topic: how we, Canadians, are impacted by the French Revolution. By thinking about how we are impacted, we need to look at those major themes and consequences of the French Revolution to understand what influences us. I have listed 3 of these influences here. First, let's look at constitutional monarchy. In order to understand this idea, I looked for a definition in the dictionary. Language is a little confusing, so I made my own definition that is more understandable. The king and or queen is a representative of the country, but is mostly just a figurehead. To really ingrain this concept, I found an example of constitutional monarchy, Canada and Queen Elizabeth. I have done the same 3 steps for the concept of meritocracy as well. I found the definition in the dictionary, made my own definition, and found an example of this concept. Lastly, I have done the same 3 steps for secularism. Found and made definitions, but since I found it to be a trickier concept, I have added 2 examples to help me understand. There are many more terms and concepts that we will encounter as we go through the unit, and it will be your job to add terms to this mind map with their definitions and examples. In addition to examples, you may add videos, pictures, drawings, articles, and any other resources that will help you deepen your understanding of the concept.